All right, welcome back to Midwestern Samoan. In the last lesson, we went over the alphabet and pronunciation. So today we're gonna go over numbers and days of the week, months, and days of the week, numbers. Yeah, so there, days of the week and months. So there's a lot to go over. So let's get into it. Again, if you want to follow along, this actually follows along with the digital download. It's labeled numbers, months, days, something like that in the Midwestern Samoan store. The link is in the bio. You can check that out and follow along. But if you don't have that now and you want to go over it, well, let's do it. So if we're doing dates, we want to go over the numbers so that we can know like what to say with like the actual date, like the first, the second, third. Anyways, so here we are, the numbers. I don't know if you guys can see that, but one. And remember, as we went over in the first lesson how to pronounce the words, then we remember all the vowels are pure, right? So a, e, o, u. So in this first word, tasi, and remember the second to the last syllable is what we normally would emphasize. So we have tasi, right? Not tasi, right? Tasi. Then lua, right? Tolu, fa, lima, ono, fitu. And that ono, that's important. The O's are pure. Ono, ono. And then if you remember in the ka form, ends can be turned into that nga, that G, nga. So you'll hear it as ongo, right? And also kasi. So T's turn into K's, right? So ono, but for all intents and purposes, I usually just keep it in the ta form because that's the nangana lele, right? The good way or the proper way, right? But just remember, you'll hear it a lot in the ta form. Fitu, valu, iva, and then sefulu for 10, selau for 100, afe for 1,000, miliona for 1,000,000. Okay, so if you can count 1 through 10, then it's easy to count to 99. And then if you know selau, now you can count to 999. Afe, now you can count to 999,999, right? And the way to do that is, and remembering this order is important, especially going from the 11 to 19. Just remember, if you're saying 11 to 19, you want to say sefulu first, right? That's your first. It's 10 and then whatever number, right? So 10, 1 is 11. 10, 2 is 12, right? It's technically 10 with a 1, right? Sefulu maletasi, right? 10 and the 1. But we just put it all in one word and say sefulu tasi. So the order is important because if you say lua sefulu, now you're saying 2 10s, and that means 20. So just remember, 11 through 19, sefulu comes first. 10 comes first. So 10 1, 10 2, 10 3. That's 11, 12, 13. Sefulu tasi, sefulu lua, sefulu tolu, sefulu fa. So the hardest thing, I think, is just remembering these numbers, 1 through 9. So learn those numbers. And once you learn 1 through 9, then these will come easier, right? Because then you have, someone's like, oh, how many? And there's like, I don't know, if you're saying, oh, there's 322, right? So if you want to say 322, now in that same order, 3 tolu, 100 selau, and then how do we do the 20s or how do we do the 10s? We say 2 10s, right? Lua sefulu, so there's your 20, and then lua. So 322 tolu selau, lua sefulu, 2 10s, and 2 lua. So 322, here I'll write it down. Maybe that'll be helpful. So you have 322 is tolu selau, right? Lua sefululua. So I'll write that here. Tolu selau lua. Oh man, I can't fit. Sefulu lua. There you go. Tolu selau lua sefulu lua. 222, right? So there. That's how you put the numbers together. Okay? All right. Now that we have the numbers, let's go to the days of the week. Before we do the days of the week, let's do this. First, ordinal numbers. First, second, third. Those are ordinal, right? Putting things in order, right? So let's do this. Well, first, let's know first and the last, right? So if you're saying something is first, the word is, and again, this is also in the digital download. First, mua. Okay? So if you want to say first day, right? You would say aso mua, right? So the word for day is aso, and the word for first mua. Whenever we're labeling things, and we're putting a descriptive on something, like we're saying that is, like we're saying first day, red apple, right? If you want to say the red apple, that's you don't say the word is mu for red and apu for apple. So you don't say mu apple, right? You say apu mu. So it feels weird even saying this without something. It's a particle for every standalone noun, and we'll go over this in the next lesson, but I feel like I need to do it now. So this is a very important article here in the Sāmoan language, right? O. If you're saying the first day, you don't just say, and so le is literally the, so that's the article the day first, right, is what we're saying, right? So if you're saying, hey, the first day, like someone asks you, hey, what day is it? And you say, oh, the first day, right? You wouldn't just say le aso mua. You have to say o le aso mua. It's for all standalone nouns and noun phrases. It's the equivalent. It's the equivalent to be, right? So when all nouns, and all noun phrases, like I said, like 90, I can't even think of when it's not, but since when is anything ever definite like that, right? So 99.99% of the time, o le aso mua, right? The first day. I mean, it means it is the first day, right? So there, mua is first. All that, just say mua for first, right? Anything after that, besides the last, right? So let's go with last. Muli, right? And you may be getting a chuckle right now, right? If you know just one half of that word, right? But that's a good way to remember, right? 'Cause it means but, right? So you put, and that's a good way to remember, to rear end, like the rear, the last, right? Muli muli, last, right? So if you want to say the last day, you say, right? You need the oleaso, muli muli, the last day. Okay? So there you go. That's mua mua, muli muli, first and last. Everything in between that has numbers, and you want to say it in an ordinal way, right? Then you would add this word. Lona, right? Lona. So, and then I said plus, and then whatever number, right? So if you want to say the 5th, right? You would just say Lona. Lona lima. 5th. So that's how you make it ordinal, right? And that's for all of them. Even if you want to say like 1,000th, right? Right? Or you like 1,230th, right? It would be lona afe lua selau tolusfulu, right? Like 1,230th. So unless that's out of a million, it's terrible, right? Anyways, so there. So you have mua mua, muli muli, lona, right? Now, let's go to the days of the week. Now, we just learned the word for day, right? Which is aso. Now you know half of every day of the week, right? Because they all start with aso. So, the first one, Sunday. Asosa. And again, you can follow all of these, follow along in the digital downloads found in the Midwestern Sāmoan store in the link in the bio. So you don't, like, you're not worried about, oh no, don't bring the whiteboard back, right? You can get the digital download in the Midwestern Sāmoan store. So asosa. Easy way to remember Sunday. Is sa means forbidden. So if you grew up in like a Christian home, especially Sāmoan Christian home, you knew everything was forbidden. That's right? Like that means like everything is, you can't do anything on Sunday, right? So you have asosa, and then the next one, aso, right? And remember, the way to pronounce, right, is always the pure vowels, right? Ngafua. Like, even if you need to go slow, ngafua, ngafua, and then you can put it together fast, right? Ngafua. And remember, the second to the last syllable is the one you want to emphasize, ngafua. And you can practice, saying those words. So, aso ngafua. Easy way to remember aso ngafua is the word ngafua means to be free from the forbidden or the taboo, right? So, and then everyone seems to remember Tuesday pretty easily because it's the number 2, asolua. And like, even though it's not spelled like the number 2, but just remember Tuesday, asolua. So that, and then Wednesday, asolulu. So I know an easy way to remember Wednesday, but asolulu. Just it sounds like lua, so it comes after Tuesday. It sounds like lua, Wednesday, lulu, asolulu. And then Thursday. Asatofi. Asatofi. And then this one's a funny one. Aso faraile. I wonder if it's borrowed. Yes, it's borrowed, right? Aso faraile. You won't hear it called faraile very often, right? Like we talked about in the first lesson, the ka form. I don't even consider changing R's to L's as like the ka form, like ngana leanga, because it's done so frequently. Like even in the ta form, you hear it all the time, because it's just weird in the native language, right? To have R's. Even the word lapisi, right? You know, it comes from a rubbish, and I'm sure, like I'm willing to bet. I'm not a betting person, but anyways, that it started as rapisi, right, for rubbish, but lapisi. That's what lapisi, right? Rubbish. And isa kurimi, right? The word for cream is kurimi, right? But you don't never hear it called that, right? Isa kulimi, right? Or even rice, right? Is araisa. That's how you spell it, araisa. But it's alaisa, right? So, anyways, so that's why. But I'm putting this technically as faraile, but you'll always hear it as falaile, falaile, aso falaile. And then Saturday, our favorite. And I don't mean the favorite because it's Saturday, but because of what it is, to'ona'i, right? Or ko'ona'i, right? That's what we all look forward to as kids, because that's when we eat, right? To'ona'i literally means the Sunday meal. And it's like, man, if that's the Sunday meal, to'ona'i, right? Ko'ona'i, why is it Saturday? Another neat meaning of the word to'ona'i is the verb. It's to prepare, right? To prepare. Wo to'ona'i. I never hear it used that way, but it works, right? Meaning like I'm preparing, right? I prepare for the Sunday meal, even though it's tomorrow. My guess is because back in the day, it's such a big meal. You have to harvest, the kalo, and you have to harvest the fa'i, and you know what I mean? And then, have the umungoing, and it's just, it's something that lasted the day before. You just had to prepare for it the day before. So that's my guess. That's why we call it Asato'ona'i, Saturday, the day before Sunday, which is actually the day we have to'ona'i. So there. So that's some ways to remember the days of the week. Yeah? All right. So it's taking a lot longer than I was wanting to, but here we are. Months. The way I describe months is think of we say the most fob, right? The most fob way, fresh off the boat, right? The most fob way to say the English words of the months, right? Like, boom, right? January is Januari. And even if you look at January without like changing the consonants, right? Think of it, Januari, right? Januari, there's no J in the Sāmoan language, right? And I'm sure it's started again, Januari, but it's just ended up being Januari, right? Like you never hear people call Januari, it's Januari. But I'm sure Januari works, right? If you want to be real technical, right? So that's the way I teach how to remember all of the months. So it's like February, even again taking the vowels in the taking the vowels in the English of the month, and then just pronouncing them Sāmoa, like, and then you'll probably be really close to the Sāmoa for the months, right? So February, even if you take the word February, right? February, right? February. There's no B, right, in the Samoan language. So think of like the closest thing. So you have Februari, right? So I can't even say the English now. February, right? Februari, right? Februari. Oh, and then you have the rest, right? Mati, March. Apelila, April. May, Juni, July, Augusto, and September. October is a fun one. Oktober, right? Oktober. And November. And December. So there's your months, right? So, all right, again, if you're like, oh, don't move the whiteboard, or I don't feel like pausing, you can check out the digital download in the Midwestern Sāmoan store. Links in the bio. Now, some practice, right? So let's practice using all of these, right? Before we do that, let's go over some quick vocabulary, right? First one, the word for what, right? Technically, it's 3 words, right? Olea, right? And remember, this is the equivalent of to be or to is, right? And le is the, and the is really like what's saying what, right? Olea, right? Olea is the what, right? So, but this is what this is the word what in Sāmoa, right? But just remember, it has to be in 3 separate words, because if it's not and you're reading it, it means something else. Just remember that, right? And we'll go over that in the other ones. But for now, just know when you see olea, that's what, right? So when you have olea, so you're asking what is, right? What, I don't know. Oh, what is today, right? Let's go with that. Today is the same as day, aso, but with the fa mamafa. No, aso, right? Aso. And so I don't usually use aso, right? It's aso. I don't know. It's always like for today, I always use day now. Asone. Today. Right? Asone. So if I'm asking like what is today, I'd usually just ask olea for what? And remember, it has to be those 3 words, right? Olea. Le aso ne. Olea le aso ne. Right? What? So what? The day now, right? So what's the day today? Okay? So what is the day today? Now, if someone asks, hey, ole ale aso ne, right? Ole ale aso. They're asking what is today, right? What's the day today? And so right now it's I don't even know what day. Today's Monday, right? If you remember, and if today is Monday, all you have to say is remember the particle for is o, le. It is the, right? Le. So, as an easy practice right there, right? Okay? And then, now this one is the fun part, right? If you're just saying, a short way to ask, what's the date? You just say, Olea Sofia, right? And I know that it's like, wait, where's the what, right? You're literally saying it's the day how many with a question mark, right? So you're saying it is the day how many. You're saying it's the day how many, right? So Olea Sofia, that is the short way to say what's the date, right? So what is the date? And remember, when we say it in English, right? If it's the 7th, right? We say the 7th, right? We don't say 7, right? So if it's March 7th, it is March 7th. For Sāmoa, we would say like it is the 7th day of March, right? So it is the 7th day of March. So we'll go with the it is, right? The o, leaso, lona, right? Lona fitu, right? Lona fitu. So oleaso, lona fitu. It is the day 7th. Remember, when we're describing something, the descriptive comes after the noun or after the object. Yeah. So oleaso lona fitu of o, right? O, what did I say? March? Mati. Right? It is the 7th day of March. So again, easy way to say the date. It is the whatever day of whatever month. Okay? So there. So yeah, okay, we're gonna end on this. 2 new words, and these words again, they're also in the digital download, which is in the Midwestern Sāmoan store. You have yesterday and tomorrow. Why does it feel like I spelled tomorrow wrong? Oh well, right? Ananafi, yesterday. Tayao, tomorrow, right? So easy way to say, like, what day is tomorrow? Olea leaso, right? Tayao, right? Olea leaso tayao. So instead of ne for now day, you would just say tayao, day tomorrow. What is the day tomorrow? So, and then again, so if today is Monday, if you remember from the vocabulary before, or if you're following along in the digital download, you would say oleaso lua. It is Tuesday, right? Meaning tomorrow, answering the question, tomorrow is Tuesday, right? If you want to say like, oleaso lua, right? Or tayao oleaso lua, That's how I would say it, so it doesn't get confused, right? So Taiao ole asulua. Tomorrow, it is Tuesday. All right. So, and then if you say ole ale asu ananafi, right? What is the day yesterday? And then we'd say ananafi ole aso. What was it? Asosa. Again, this is all in the digital download. You can see it in the visual there. So there you go. The numbers, the days of the week, months, and the date, right? So again, if you like this video, like it, comment, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Faftay lava.